Good morning, dear listeners, and welcome to the official meeting of the Selection Commission for conducting the competition for the position of Director of the Bureau for Economic Security of Ukraine. My name is Laura Ștefan, and I'm the chairperson of this Selection Commission. As required by the law of Ukraine on the Bureau for Economic Security, which governs the work of our commission, the announcement with the draft agenda for this meeting was published 24 hours ago, more than 24 hours ago, on the Cabinet of Ministers website, and now the meeting is broadcasted live on the Cabinet of Ministers website, for which we want to thank the Cabinet of Ministers. First of all, let's check the quorum for this meeting, and as you know, we'll go in order. I'll ask my colleagues to announce their presence in the meeting. Oleg?
Пані Лауро,
Madam
як ми
Laura,
вчора домовлялися,
as we agreed
ми
yesterday,
запропонували
we
режим
will
повідомлення.
be working in the mode of information
Ті питання, які ми
sharing,
сьогодні
because
і
those
домовились,
issues that we
про
have
що
today and
домовлялися,
those agreements
в
which we
режимі
had
інформаційного
yesterday
повідомлення, без
will be
офіційного
in the mode
офіційного
of information sharing without official decisions. Thank you.
Yes, we will get to that in a minute when we discuss the items on the agenda. But let's first see whether we have all the commissioners present. So, Oleg?
Всі присутні, так?
Everyone is present, yes.
Yes. Donatas?
Present.
Tetiana?
Присутня.
Present.
Yuri?
Присутній.
Present.
Jim?
Present.
And I'm present. Therefore, this meeting has a quorum. All the commissioners are present. And I want to thank all the commissioners for making time to join this meeting. Then the agenda for the meeting today is as follows. We have two items. As Ola has rightfully pointed out, we are in an information mode right now because the work of the Commission, in our view, has been concluded. But the two items that we want to discuss and share information and our views about are consideration of the materials received from the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine and consideration of the request made by Mr. Tsivinsky to the Commission. So, dear colleagues, do you have additional points or suggestions to include on the agenda?
No, Ms. Chair, I just was wondering whether you haven't forgot to ask whether Tatiana is present. Or
I did
maybe I
not.
missed.
I did
Okay.
not. Tatiana
Okay.
announced her presence.
Oh, okay.
Please
Thank you so
confirm,
much.
Tatiana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
Так,
so
я сказала, що
Yes,
присутня.
I said that I'm present. Thank you.
yes. So do we have any more points to add to the agenda? If not, let's proceed with adopting the agenda. And again, we'll go in order. Oleg?
Підтримую.
I support it.
Donatas?
Yes, I support the agenda.
Tetiana?
Підтримую.
Yes, I support it.
Yuri?
Так, так. Я
Yes,
підтримую.
yes, I support this agenda.
Jim?
Yes, I support it as well.
And I support it as well. Therefore, the agenda is adopted unanimously. So let's proceed to the first point of the agenda, which is to consider and provide information on the materials received from the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. And let me explain briefly to the public that on the 8th of June, the Selection Commission received an extract from the minutes of the meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, dated a day before. I think it is actually the 8th of July. And for the sake of transparency and publicity, we have immediately published the document online. We know that there is a high level of interest in Ukraine for the procedure. So I would like to invite you colleagues to express your views about the situation. And if you don't mind, I can start. In my opinion, the Selection Commission has already fulfilled its mandate. We have finished our work. We have undertaken all the steps required by the law. We have adopted the rules of procedure for the competition. We have published the announcement for the competition. We have collected applications and admitted eligible candidates. We have administered various tests and practical tasks. Some of the Ukrainian colleagues were even present at these moments. We have facilitated a special check on the finalists of the competition, all of which have received a positive assessment. We have conducted our own integrity check, and we interviewed finalists. At the end of this process, we have chosen one winner of the competition, whose candidature was submitted to the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. All of these steps were taken in strict compliance with relevant legislation, first of all, but not limited to the law on the Bureau for Economic Security. As you know, dear colleagues, the law does not provide the possibility for us to make any other decisions at this point, and we cannot return to any of the previous stages of the competition. A lot has been said about the SBU letter by all the Commission members while we were making a decision on the final result of the competition. But since it is again mentioned in the document provided by the Cabinet of Ministers, I'll briefly repeat the main facts. The Commission had the opportunity to get acquainted to the information provided by the SBU before making a decision. The information provided by the SBU was not assessed by the SBU itself as a threat to national security in the context of the selection process, but the SBU indicated that they will continue their work for the identification of such risks. The information shared by the SBU concerns not the candidates themselves, but relatives of 3 candidates participant in our final interviews. With regard to the winner, the information about the alleged Russian passport of the father has been in the public space from, let's say, early 2023, when the candidate was running for the position of director of NABU. The winner of the competition has worked for more than 20 years in various law enforcement agencies, and to the best knowledge of the Commission, he has access to state secrets, and this access has not been removed. And last but not least, let me repeat that all the 16 finalists, including the winner of the competition, have successfully passed the state special vetting in May 2025, and the results of the vetting were never cancelled or revised. I put this information just for background. As I said, I do not see any possibility for the Commission to come back to any previous phase of the competition. We have made a decision, and we did submit our proposal to the Cabinet of Ministers in line with the existing Ukrainian legislation. Therefore, in my view, I don't think the Commission can do anything else at this point. So, colleagues, what are your opinions? Yes, Oleg.
Дякую, пані Лауро.
Thank you, Madam Laura. With respect to the fact that you've said the Commission has exhausted its authorities, I support you. And with respect to the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers, yesterday we discussed it at a working meeting. We reached agreement that the Commission does not have the authority to assess the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers, to take some other decisions, or to have voting. So yes, indeed, the Commission has exhausted its opportunities, its authorities, and at this stage we have completed our work, basically. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. I think at this point the only thing we can do is to basically return the documents that were returned to us, because in our view there's nothing in addition that this Commission can proceed to at this point. Tatiana and then Donatas.
Дякую, пані голово.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I also want to support you and Ola with respect to saying that the Commission has exhausted its powers, and we cannot do any other actions. And the decision of the Cabinet of Ministers, that is our highest central executive body, maybe they have more information than the Commission had back then. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tatiana. Donatas?
Yeah, thank you so much. So just in order to actually to repeat what has been said also by you and by previous speakers. So I also believe that the Commission task is over. The decision Commission made is still valid, which is important, and we're not in the power to make any other decision right now. So I guess we cannot return to any stage or to propose a new candidate, like it was mentioned somewhere in the media, and by the way, not in the extract of this meeting of a cabinet. So basically, we cannot do anything else, and our task is over. Our decision, I'm just going to repeat myself, is still valid, which is important. And I would propose just to return the documents sent, because the decision is still there. Only the document package was sent for some reason. So I would propose to return this document package back to the sender to make a decision, relating on the laws that governs this decision. So, as in regard to the information you mentioned, and in regard you have mentioned, so I just want to emphasize that in this letter, although we cannot share it to the public, but in this letter there was no new information which was unknown for us prior to receiving this letter, and basically all the information which was in the letter by SBU was considered by the Commission during the decision-making process. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Donatas. Yuri?
Дякую, пані голово, за
Thank you, Madam Chair, for this opportunity to address. You dear colleagues, it's a pleasure for me to point out that we share our position with respect to the fact that the Commission has exhausted its authorities. The Commission has completed its work, and we do not have to take any other decision with respect to the document or the act that the Cabinet Ministers has appointed. We are not authorized to take any decision with respect to the act of the Cabinet of Ministers. At the same time, I would like to emphasize on two aspects with respect to which we have some differences in our judgments. Firstly, since we have exhausted our authorities, we are not competent to provide any assessment to those documents which we took into account when the previous decision on the recommendation was adopted by the Commission. Because now I see that colleagues are coming back to some letter, to somebody, what we knew back then, what we did not know back then. We are again raising those issues. If we go back again to the consideration of issues on information that the Commission had at its disposal, it may put us back to the repeated decision-making, but we, as everyone has admitted, are not authorized to take any other decisions. Secondly, with respect to the fact that the Commission has to return documents to the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. In order to return documents to the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine, the Commission has to take the respective decision. But to take the respective decision, the Commission should have the respective competence to take such decisions. But we have agreed with the fact that the Commission has exhausted its competence. That's why, in my opinion, the Commission should not consider now the issue and take a decision about the return of documents to the Cabinet of Ministers, because we do not have this competence. It should be done technically by the Secretariat of the Commission without adoption of any decision by the Commission. Thank you.
Yuri, thank you very much for these points. Indeed, absolutely, we agree that the Commission finished its work and we cannot take any other decisions. With regard to the information I provided it just for context. As we said, we are in an information mood, not in a decision-making mood, and I have no interest in reopening this whole discussion. With regard to sending the documents back, I think this is a very technical part of our discussion here. Maybe I can propose that we resend the documents back under my signature, as we did the first time, It would be, I think, a bit weird to have the secretariat just deliver the documents without any kind of letter. It's just a matter of protocol and of respecting the address to official bodies. I definitely don't think we need a decision because the decision was already taken. So we're not making new decisions. We're just giving the Cabinet of Ministers the pack of documents that they have sent to us for reasons that are, as Oleg has said, beyond the mandate of this commission to assess. So we are not going to discuss what the Cabinet of Ministers did in relation to the documents. We're just going to provide them again with a pack so that there are no technical impediments in them making a final decision on this competition. So that's why I would suggest that I write a letter of out of protocol rather than as a matter of a decision of this commission. But this is, of course, up to discussion in our meeting.
I'm perfectly in agreement with everything that's been said before. Obviously, we have exhausted. We made a decision. It was a long and a very considered process from start to finish. We're merely returning these documents to where we sent them originally. I think whether it's a brief cover note or a post-it or whatever it may be, it's to me it's irrelevant. It's just as you have said, purely technical, and it's just a sort of acknowledgement that we are returning these documents as originally submitted without a resubmission.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking about, just a brief 2 sentences, maybe signed by me, so that we respect the protocol here. It's not a matter of decision making, just a matter of sending back the pack of documents. Okay, so do we have any other positions on this point, or I don't see any raised hands, so I think we have exhausted the discussions. We will send back the documents just with a brief note signed by me.
Today?
Yes, on the second point of the agenda, dear colleagues. As you know, we have received a request for the candidate Tsivinsky to get all the information we gathered about him. A precise reference is made to the letter of the SBU addressed to the Commission, and he is asking about the documents we have sent to the Cabinet of Ministers together with the submission. I suggest we start our discussion, and I stress discussion, with the SBU letter. As you remember, the SBU letter has the status of official use only. This is a classification status. Even though it's not the highest, it is a classification standard nevertheless. During the public deliberations, the members of the Commission have referred to those parts in the document that, in our view, could have been disclosed, always bearing in mind the protection of personal data. However, I believe that the Selection Commission is not the right authority to formally declassify these kind of documents. And the practice and the legislation is in all our countries that the interested parties should address the owner of the document, who has the official competence, the official power to decide on the declassification of the information. So, dear colleagues, let's start with this point, and then we will follow with the other points, and also with the nature of our commission, which has been touched upon in various exchanges with various entities throughout the process of selection, and I believe it is important to stay consistent. So, with regard to sum up, with regard to the SBU letter, what we thought is communicatable to the public, we have communicated during our public meeting, during our deliberations. When it comes to the document itself, the owner is the SBU, not the commission. Therefore, whoever wants access to the full document should address the SBU with the request to access this document. What are your views on this? Yes, Donatas.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. So basically, I'm very agree what you said regarding to this document, because it is have some mark on it, and it belongs to some kind of secrecy level. So unfortunately, we cannot. Of a document
Donatas,
who created it.
if you don't mind, I will ask you to repeat because I think we lost you for a second there.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
So basically, I was saying that I express. So I believe that the document. You cannot hear me? Hello?
Maybe the best would be if you turn off the video while you're speaking. Maybe then
Okay.
we can hear you better.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay, thank you so much. So sorry for my technical problems. So basically what I was saying, so I'm in agreement with what you said. I do not believe that we can make a decision or disclose the letter, which is have some secrecy element, which is confidential. So only this institution which created the document can declassify this document. This institution created this SBU. Okay, this is it.
Thank you very much, Donatas. Do we have any other points to raise with regard to this letter? Yes, Oleg.
Дякую, колеги. Ну, я також вас можу підтримати в цьому
Thank you,
відношенні.
colleagues. I also support you in this regard. The Commission should not
тому що
згідно закону про доступ до публічної інформації give answer to this letter, because according to the law on public information, the information that has the for internal use only mark is not the information that can be disclosed, and we are not the owners of the information. And given the previous practices of the Commission, when we didn't give answers to that kind of request, we need to act in the same manner today as well, and to deny this request.
Yes, and since Oleg touched upon this, let me briefly say that we need to be consistent. According to the Ukrainian legislation and relevant case law, the Selection Commission is not subject to the law on access to public information, as we are not a public authority. And this has been the line that we took from the beginning of this competition, and I believe we need to take it here too. As with respect to what was submitted by us to the Cabinet of Ministers, I think we can briefly say that we send information about the participation of the winner in various stages of the competition, and we accompanied the submission with his CV and letter of motivation, which was submitted by the candidate. Therefore, there's very little use in us communicating to the candidate his CV and his letter of motivation that he has submitted as part of this procedure. So if you have any other thoughts on these matters, please express them now. If not, I suggest that we respond to the candidate outlining these elements, the fact that we are not a public authority under the law, and that with regard to the sensitive documents such as those with official use only stamp on them, he needs to address the owner of the information. And with regard to the submission to the Cabinet of Ministers, that we have submitted general information about the candidate, and about his participation in the competition, together with his CV and letter of motivation that originated from him. So if you want to add anything to this brief summary that I have provided. If not, dear colleagues, I think we have exhausted the agenda for today's meeting. It was a meeting held, as Ole has rightfully stressed from the very beginning, in the information mode. We're not making any decisions at this meeting because we believe the work of the Commission has already been concluded with the adoption of the decision on the winning candidate. If there are no requests to make any additional comments or statements, and I don't see any raised hands, I would like to thank very much the Commission members for being present today, finding time to join this meeting, and for the consensus we have reached on the 2 points for our discussion. This is very much appreciated. And I therefore conclude this meeting by thanking you all. Thank you very much. The meeting is now closed.
Thank you.